Welcome to the webinar of Wellbeing Outdoors. We are Lessons in Grass. In case you don't know us, we'll introduce ourselves a bit. We offer teachers inspiration for going outdoors with their kids because it's our main goal to encourage them to teach outdoors and so that children spend more time outdoors. And we'd like to see them back outdoors where they can learn and play in more natural way. We offer the year-round inspiration. So join the thousands of teachers and parents who support children's times outdoors. To begin with, we'll just go quickly through the reasons why should we go and teach outdoors, because there is a lot of research that says that it's very beneficial in many ways. Children concentrate for a longer time. They have better academic achievements. Their physical and mental health is boosted by being outdoors. They have better relationships between, among children and between children and their teachers. Everything is more in practice, in movement. They engage all their senses, and therefore learning is more effective. We try to show teachers that learning outdoors or teaching outdoors is very cheap and effective, because outdoors there's just an interactive classroom that it's updated pretty much the whole year round. There are many resources, teaching aids and equipment. Everything can be found there. There's a lot of art materials. It's a great gym as well, laboratory. You can teach everything outdoors. Our main focus is on the methodologies and ready-made lesson plans for teachers, so that you can just choose a topic, you can grab methodology, and everything is well prepared, well structured. You have pictures there, and it's just ready to use. I'd recommend, if you don't know us yet, we have this free download. It's an ebook of our 14 most popular lessons. You can download it from our website, so you can have a look at our lessons and what we do. It's available. It's in English and in French. We support beginners on their way out, but we also support more experienced teachers, and we'd like to work with the practicing professionals. So therefore, for the very beginners, we have the ready-made lessons to start with. If you want to do more, you can sign up for our video courses, and then we are, at the moment, we are preparing a year-round membership for the most experienced teachers. But anyways, today's topic is School Grounds Month. That's just the biggest global celebration of outdoor learning, because it's warm outside. Teachers tend to go outdoors more, and even teachers who are not experienced in outdoor learning dare to go outdoors this time. So if you have teachers like that in your surroundings, invite them outdoors with you and try some of the activities. You can test some of our topics. As I already mentioned, we have the two topics, that's well-being and science. The first part of the webinar will be about well-being, and the second part of the webinar will be about science. That's more for higher elementary and secondary school children. So let's have a look at the well-being. My first question for you is, how do you feel now? What is your mindset that you're coming with to the webinar. It's very important to just map somehow our needs and our state. So what are your feelings? And again, this is, I'll be posing some of like thought-provoking questions during the webinar. Of course, if you want to share, you can use the chat, but it's okay if you just think about the questions on your own. No, it's not moving. Is it moving? No. Okay, now it's moving. So how do you understand the term well-being? Because well-being, it can be like a broad, very broad term, and it's good to narrow it down a bit and make some sense of it. It doesn't have to be a precise definition, but just think or write in the chat, what does it mean for you? What is your understanding of well-being? I can give you a couple seconds just to tune in. Feel good. Yes. Very simply put and very true. And what, in your opinion, do children need for their well-being? Because we'll get to the point that the needs may be different. Mind and body engage. Thank you, Pasos. That's great. Feel okay in my body. So we have in mind now the physical well-being and the mental well-being as well. Thank you very much. Play, freedom, joy, nature. Beautiful, nicely put. So in this first part, we'll get a little into the theory of well-being so that we can somehow grasp the topic and know what it consists of. Because you'll probably, when you were thinking about the questions, you probably came up with the fact that your well-being and the well-being of the kids may be two different things, and that everybody needs something different. And the thing is that we tend to impose the activities that are good for us also for children, because it boosts our well-being and it should boost their well-being as well. But it may not be the case all the time. So I'd like to encourage you to maybe today focus on the activities and maybe make notes and write down the activities that you wouldn't normally think of, because those are probably the activities that you don't practice with children that much. And maybe some of the children are have different needs and need different types of activities. So so we'll have a look at the different parts that consist of the well-being. So you mentioned physical well-being. That was already there mentioned. That's probably the first thing that we can think of. Children should feel comfortably outdoors. It's pretty clear. Some extreme conditions won't really add to their well-being. It may add to their resilience, but not to their well-being, especially if they're not experienced. Then you mentioned also the mental well-being. And that's about feeling comfortably in our minds. That's very important for some children. So we should make sure that children have enough stimuli so that they can engage their minds and focus their attention on something outdoors. Then we have emotional well-being. Um, Teachers usually have that in mind when it comes to children, and they manage the group. When they manage the group of children, they try to make them feel emotionally safe and comfortable. Then we have social well-being, and it's important when you have a group of people to make sure that the group works together and that everybody feels okay and safe in the group. So that's paying attention to the relationship between the children in the group. And the last part, it's the most difficult to grasp or maybe to think of, and that's the spiritual well-being. And that's somehow some kind of like inner attunement. It's there are values, our purpose, maybe some vision. And for some children, even the spiritual well-being is very important. So they may get over feeling uncomfortable, on the physical side. But if they have some kind of like a higher purpose on being outdoors, that's something that really keeps them there. So let's leave the chart and let's have a look at the individual sections. We have the physical well-being. We just put, it's like the main highlights so that we can go deeper into it, but not too deep. So there may be like many more things, but we like to point out that it's health, condition, and immunity. They are all very much connected. If we are in a good condition, we are probably healthy, and our immune system works well. And how nature can help us in our physical well-being, that's written on the site. And of course, the first thing that we may think when it comes to children, it's movement. Children need to move outdoors, and it really brings like the physical well-being, the health, and they boost their immunity. Of course, fresh air. If you are outdoors, you have more fresh air. You have there's more greenery outdoors, and it all adds up to this physical well-being. Mental well-being, we put there thoughts, concentration, and performance. And that's something that we require from children when it comes to school. And all these decrease in time, especially in classroom. They just go down very fast. So we need to let them regenerate and recharge their batteries. And again, nature comes as a great ally to that because there is research proven that it restores attention. It helps the regeneration. They regenerate really fast in nature, and the learning is more smooth, and they can get into the flow. And of course, fascination really helps in this, and they can experience it in nature a lot. Emotional well-being, we put feelings, of course, depression and mood. We put depression that, like not all the feelings are very comfortable. And nature, again, helps us to reduce stress. Just the sight of greenery has the potential of calming us. We have more positive emotions. For example, if you have some children who are medicated because of ADHD, it's research proven that they may need less medication when they go outdoors regularly. Moving again now. Social well-being, it's another part, important part of the well-being. I mentioned it already, it's relationships, communication, cooperation within the group. And when we are outdoors, teachers report that there is less conflict among children. They communicate better, they're more engaged. Even children who fall behind in the class, they are in risk of failure. They are more self-confident outdoors, and they're more engaged in the process and in the group as such. So it really has great benefits. And the last one is spiritual well-being. And that is closely connected with our faith, our values, our meaning. And, you know, if you have a group of children and you want to, for example, if you do some self-assessment, or if you are to make some major decision, it's great to go outdoors and go to, for example, like an open landscape, or if you go to some kind to some lookout tower, some place that is higher up, and you have this detached view. You see everything from above, and sorry, and yeah, sorry. It's just easier for children to have this some kind of a second view on their problem. My other question for you is, what's your favorite place to go out and have a good time? Where do you feel good outdoor, and maybe what is special about the place? Why do you go there, and why do you feel good there? That was the theory, and now when we have in mind all these 5 sections that make up like the whole bundle of well-being, we'll go through individual parts, and we'll go through some activities that lead us to well-being. A place in nature, ideally with trees and water. Beautiful. So I'll continue. When you're outdoors, it's always important to have the purpose. You know, what's the goal of our outing? The bigger wilderness, the better. Yeah, that's something that's very natural for us. It's like the wilder the place is, the better. Yeah, I'm talking about the purpose, because often we just go outdoors, and if we don't have the goal there, we go there to feel good. We may just be there, but we're still locked in our heads. We are thinking about some workloads, or there's this typical example, walking a dog. You're outdoors, you're with your dog, but you know, most of the people are on their cell phones, so they don't even notice where they are. And that's very different to going, walking the dog with the purpose of relaxing and feeling good in nature. Not all the class and not all children will be happy about it at the first moment. You can't really expect that everybody will be just amazed by the first flower they'll meet. Probably won't, and that's something that can be trained because everyone relaxes in a different way, differently. So that's very important to keep in mind, that our needs are different because our focus on the different parts of the well-being, that everybody has a different focus. So how do you relax? What is your favorite activity in nature? Somebody likes to lie down in the grass and just watch the tree crowns. Somebody likes to do something in the garden, and that's the way of relaxing. I like to walk, going on trips and long walks, walking through nature. So you can just think for yourself, what is your favorite activity, because it's very important to have our needs mapped out so that we can start to focus on the needs of others and noticing their needs as well. Yeah, and if you smell of nature, thank you, Martina. That's very nice. And we have a photographer. Look for details in nature. Perfect. It's a great way of mindfulness. Walk, perceive sound, smells. Perfect. Thank you. And now, what do you think your kids like to do in nature? What is their favorite activities when they get into flow and just being now and here? Shirin-yoku. Observing their free play. Thank you. Yeah, as I said, we all have our different ways of relaxing, and we have our needs in nature. I'll just quickly go through some different types of activities that children may prefer. Some children like to get lost in these small worlds and play with stones, making little houses and dance, fairies. But some children don't. Some children like to be very active and always in motion, and they won't really stay for a long time building a den for elves. Some children like to share in order to experience their well-being. They don't like to be let alone and doing some individual activities. So that's important to keep that in mind and switch the individual activities versus the group activities so that the children can share, because it's important for them. Some children like the role plays and relax as such. Some children really need some amount of risk, and it's connected with risk assessment. But in order to feel really comfortable outdoors and have a good feeling that they've been outdoors, they need to experience some kind of danger and risk. So it's good to, if you can afford it, to provide them with some kind of a challenge. Risky, it depends on, everybody has a different level of the risks. So it depends on what you can afford. Some children really get into flow when they have construction challenges, so they can build things. Playing with animals is nice, but some children again need to put some action into it. And here is some inspiration. I'm a purpose. I don't go like to individual activities because all the activities focusing on well-being are on our website. So you are more than welcome to visit our website and have a look at the individual activities that we have there. And each activity is designed to meet different needs of different children. So we have like the element of water, for example, but there are more active children who like to, do some water battles. And then there are children who like to just sit and listen to the sound of water. Adrenaline, dopamine make them at ease. Yes, exactly. Especially like the active children. So the activities are on the website. If you go somewhere, it's good to keep in mind to choose a place that offers more activities and to have with you in mind more activities than just one, like observe life in the grass. Some children will just lie down and observe it for half an hour, and some children will be bored in 5 seconds. So provide children activities that fit their needs. So some children like to observe flowers, but some children need to experience it with their bodies, the nature, so they can just, play with the element like water, mud, and others. Balancing is a great thing to practice mindfulness, because if you have to balance somewhere, you really need to be in your body tightly and firmly. And this is about the elements. Again, some children like to be wrapped in the elements, and that's their way of relaxing. And for some, well-being outdoors means just sitting and being in their own inner world, thinking about their inner values and the spiritual part of the well-being. Here is a creative activity with mud, because not everybody likes to get dirty. Some children really don't like it at all. So this is the way to experience the element without really getting dirty. And I already mentioned being somewhere in the open country, and getting deeper into our spiritual well-being. For this is great if you can experience like a long journey with the kids. Take your backpacks and walk through the landscape, and have like some kind of deeper discussions, and let them think about who they are, where they are going, and all these questions will come up naturally. Making maps is a great activity too. If you want to show children different types of landscapes, just write a map, hide something, and let them walk through different places to get some traits, for example, at the end. Tree hugging activity. Some children enjoy it, some children don't understand it at all, so don't force them, because you would really disturb their well-being. Animals is very powerful experience for children, and for some children it's very important aspect of their well-being, like the close connection with nature, but always put the well-being of the animal above the well-being of children and teach them some kind of a sensitivity to the outer world. Building challenges, we've been there already. Taste is important sense, and some children experience well-being through their tastes, and so let them taste nature. Some enjoy gardening or picking wildflowers and herbs. And this is the water bottle. I talked about it already. Some focusing, narrowing down our focus on some aquatic life. Yeah, the long journey with backpacks. I talked about it as well. Here's this. I like this picture because it's clearly visible that we have somebody just likes to sit and relax, and somebody is always active and just running around and recharging batteries like that. This more individual activity. It's good to have prepared some places for children to just get cozy somewhere, write notes. Water, that's a very powerful element. There's always an activity for everybody. You can find another element, that's fire. It's great if children can experience fire. They don't get in touch with fire, but it's very important. And of course, sleeping outdoors. That's a powerful experience. Just to sum up, we should keep in mind well-being throughout the whole day. So in the morning, before we just get into the daily routines, it's good to take a moment for yourself and look up outdoors into greenery. Very often children, before they start learning at school, they stretch their bodies, they run around, and then they start snacks. Very important part of well-being. So think about where you are snacking. If there is some greenery, what do you eat? What's the mood? What's your mindset when you're eating? And for example, when you're going somewhere, just take the opportunity of focusing on well-being as well. If you're in a hurry, if you're breathing fast, you won't really experience the well-being and this calming effect of nature. So think about that. If children have the opportunity to spend time outdoors during the school day, have breaks outdoors, it really helps them to restore their attention and recharge their batteries. And if you don't have the opportunity to get outdoors that much, it's great if you take little pieces of nature indoors and create your nature corners or still lives, and so that you have it at sight, and it can bring the memories of what you've experienced outdoors. And of course, sleep, that's a very important part of well-being. So try to be like a role model for the children, and sleep with your window open in the darkness. Don't use any screens before you go to sleep, and all these things. So when you're outdoors, go slowly, engage your senses, turn off your thoughts and your mobile phone, and that way you relax and you rest, and try to teach that to children as well. So that was the well-being part of our webinar. So if we, we went through the well-being, and especially it's not only for small children. If you have children who are not that experienced outdoors, it's great to start with a well-being activity. And once they get accommodated in nature, once they know how to relax in nature, they know what are their needs, what makes them happy outdoors, then you can proceed and you can make the learning more effective. And we get to science. The start of the presentation is pretty much the same as we went through already. So I'll skip that if I can. I presented lessons in graphs already. And that, don't forget, you can download our free ebook with our most popular lessons. And we get to the frequently asked questions that teachers usually have when it comes to outdoor learning on the upper primary and secondary schools, because it's not as straightforward and easy as with the youngest children, and teachers see many obstacles in there. They can ask, why should we go teaching outdoors? Where should we go? How to do it? What do we need? What is the best time of the year when we should go outdoors? And what shall we teach there? So with the why, I think we've gone through that more or less. So again, just like quickly to sum up, it provides better learning outcomes, and everything is research-based. Children concentrate for a longer time. You probably, after the well-being section, you probably know why, because there is the greenery. It calms down our bodies and mind. They are more interested in what they're learning because they engage more of their senses. We have better behavior outdoors, fewer disciplinary problems. Again, you probably know why by now. It boosts life skills development outdoors, because children have to communicate. Their communication skills gets better. They exercise empathy, problem solving, etc. Outdoors, I already mentioned that in the first part of the webinar. Pupils that are in risk of failure, they're falling behind the class. Outdoors, they are more engaged, they're more interested, and they may become the leaders of the group and maybe experience success for the first time in their lives because they just found their preferred style of learning. This one is very important for us as the environmental organization. It's pretty clear when we are exposed to the outdoors, we get to know it better, we build up some kind of a connection, and the attitude toward environment is boosted. This is good news for teachers, that it doesn't work only for children, but it works also for the teachers. So they're more satisfied and motivated. We talked about the breaks already. And their effect for concentration. And aids and equipment is very important section and part of this bulk of obstacles that teachers ask about, because they think they need some kind of an expensive gadgets and expensive equipment to be able to teach outdoors. And that's not true. you have to take advantage of the free aids that are outdoors. For example, we have this the example of math. Very often, all you need, especially at the beginning, are just stones, sticks, and other natural materials that is widely available everywhere. We use old cardboard to make sitting mats. Again, recycled material, doesn't cost anything. You can do it with children. The same goes for the writing pads. You know, small writing pads out of cardboard, pens, or pencils, cloth bags, and string would be the basic equipment that we need and that we'd recommend. For that matter, it's good to build up some supplies of stones, because if you don't have it's like a big stone pit in your school grounds, it's good to create one, because stones always come in handy for different types of activities. There are really like tons of activities that you can do with stones. The same goes for the sticks. So good stones, good sticks, and you're fine. For example, if you make them like 10 centimeters long, 1 decimeter, you can make your own folding measure. You can make 3D models. You can do these fraction bars. But it's good to have some other materials as well. You know, stones and sticks are great base, but if you invite other materials that are available, you know, that's in the season, for example, autumn is great for that. You can use other materials, and it adds to the variety. Simple mathematical problems will be more engaging and fun if you use some natural materials, like walnuts, and you can snack doing math. And another question that is frequently asked is where? Where do I teach outdoors? We don't have a garden. We don't have school grounds. We don't have an outdoor classroom. That means we can't teach outdoors. And that's not true. Garden is a great place to have, of course. You can do many long-term, short-term projects there. You can use garden tools, for example, for physics. You know, you can explain how lever works. You can, you probably have trees somewhere around your school. So a park or some trees near school are a great place to learn. But also some urban areas are fine for outdoor learning, because there is a lot of mathematics and other subjects as well. Sundials, it's a great opportunity. It's good to have open space somewhere for measurement and movements. And if you need a whiteboard outside, just bring cloth packs and a string, and you can make your display of worksheets or art pieces and whatever you need to display. Or old calendars are great because they have the hanging system ready. The paper is thick and durable, so you can hang it and use it for all kinds of mind maps or charts that you need. Terraces are great places for outdoor learning. But also the paved areas. Those are the biggest blackboards of outdoor learning. So if you don't have garden and you have just a paved area in front of your school, it's also good. Some schools have permanent drawings on asphalt. You can do some temporary drawings as well, especially in winter. So my point is that you don't need classroom. Uh, it's not requirement, and on the contrary, if we don't have the outdoor classroom, we are more tempted to change locations and teaching styles. Just be outside, look for places that are suitable for your topics that you want to open with the children. It's good to know where there is some place where it's not raining when it's raining, where it's not windy, and for sunny days, it's good to have some shaded place to hide. Now we'll go through some examples of how outdoor classroom can look. These are some examples from Czech schools. And as you can see, it's nothing special. Sometimes it can be very simple, like this. And all these are great places for outdoor learning. You know, see a terrace, great place as well, a place to sit, maybe enough. Some shaded and secluded place. And also a greenhouse is a great place for outdoor learning. All kinds of tents and sheltered places, ideal for reading workshops, for example. So how to teach outdoors? We divided outdoor learning into three stages, let's say, and that is this low impact, semi-classical, and fully outdoors. It's not about the frequency, but about the connection with nature, how immersed you are in the surroundings and in the environment. So, for example, taking cards is something that you can easily do outdoors and indoors, and it's great for the beginners. You can just take out some cards and you can take them indoors. It's great if you engage some natural materials. That's one more step. And here are some models from natural materials. These are human bodies. And this first stage of outdoor learning is basically we teach indoors and we just go outdoors and do the same thing outdoors. It's great for the beginning. You are outdoors, you have the fresh air, our brains work better, but you're not still quite getting all the benefits of outdoor learning yet. Yeah, here you can compare the human body out of natural materials and out of artificial materials inside. And of course, we have different, the natural materials are more diverse. There are not two leaves that are the same, so it challenges our creativity more. Of course, you can do the laboratory work outdoors, or you can take the materials inside, all the discussions and writing activities. And we get to the semi-classical outdoor learning, and we work with the environment more. We make models, it's like parts of the hydrosphere, for example. You can just do a lot on a pile of sand, for example. You can teach erosion. You can teach some forest activities. We'll get to it later. But all these are activities that can be done inside, but it's very messy and you really don't want to do that inside. And some models can't be even fitted inside. Yeah, here's the pile of sand and the landscape models. We have this activity on our website, so you can download it there. I think it's not there yet, but it will be there by the end of the week. But we are modeling the countryside and different types of forests. There's another forest, and there is this floodplain forest. You can download the activity on our website. Spacewalk, it's activity from our laboratory ebook. So if you're interested in that, you can have a look at our lab, or it may be in the 14 popular lessons as well. It's a great way to exercise mathematics and to learn about space. You have to make a model, and you use the conversions, and you have to count the distances between different planets. And if you just put it, into the real life scale, um, you can get an idea about the distances in the space if you have to walk like 3 kilometers to the next planet. Models of rivers. Take a rope, make an outline of your country, and old blue t-shirt, and then you can model the rivers of your country. It's a great way to exercise. You can do also the mountains and the highest peaks. And the more experienced teachers, they don't need anything, no ropes, all teachers, t-shirts. They just use what's available in nature. So they can do the models like that. They can model different continents out of natural materials. They can do it with their bodies, make the rivers out of children. Yeah, and don't forget to involve movement as well in the activities. So you can play a game, revise the rivers in your country, just step, left foot on this river and right hand on that river, and it's great fun. And we get to the fully outdoor learning, and that's something that just can't be done indoors at all, because you won't be able to measure a tree height indoors, for example, or see the how high the sun is. So you can collect different types of leaves, stones, just pretty much everything. This activity is the river survey, and this activity can be downloaded on our website as well, in the section Science on the School Grounds Month page. So you can have a look at that. Trees and its microclimate. Again, on our website, so I won't go too deep into it, but it's basically about comparing the temperatures under a tree and under an umbrella, and trying to answer the question, why is the temperature different, why the humidity is different. And there is a lot of science in that as well. Then you have the Venn diagrams there, and you can have a look at the lesson there. And you can measure speed. For this speed, you'll probably need more than 45 minutes, but you can measure different types of speed. What is very important is that if you do the science outdoors, if you explore your place, it's good to make one step further and do something for your place. And we're getting to the place-based learning, that children can improve something in their environment, and that's really a powerful moment for them, and it empowers them for future, that they can really make a change. And in this respect, we have 3 activities on our website as well. First is Memorable Tree. They are mapping the trees in their surroundings, and they are having a look at them in terms of, it's like the natural side, but as well their history and the cultural context, and then they propose a tree to be protected. Wild city, we are mapping wild places in our neighborhood, and mapping the biodiversity there. It's a lot of working with maps and navigation as well. And again, step to the practice, plant a tree. And if you went through all the activities before, and if you devoted some time to trees, you add a different level to it, a different perspective, because if you want to plant a tree, you need to know which kind of tree, to what type of soil, what is it going to do with the microclimate, and so on, for the future. So it's a new research, basically. I'd like to point out here that the outdoors is not just the green scenery for our activities, but the time outdoors offers, direct contact with nature, and especially interactions with the living part of nature, with animals, is very powerful for children, and they have this strong experiences and building up the relationship to it. So what can we teach outdoors with a focus on science? I'll just really quickly some ideas. It's good to go outdoors with having in mind like the science, like one big topic of science, not really putting it into the small boxes of geography and physics and chemistry, because everything is so connected outdoors that it's way better to teach the topics. Invertebrate models are great activity for the outdoors. Again, it's very messy indoors, but children, when they see the actual animal, they have to focus on the details. It's something like taking the pictures. When you take the photography, you really need to focus on the details, and then they make the models with their hands. And again, it's like this hand and brain connection works really well. Physics outside, I mentioned it already. Birds in the city are easy to observe. It's a huge topic because they are used to people, and that's why we are more closely connected with birds, and it's great to observe like the bird life in the city. We can get closer to them. And if we get into the topic, at the end, there should be like a step further and do some action, do something for the birds. Secure the glasses of our school to protect birds, for example. We can build bird houses, a long-term project. Again, we can focus on bird nests and compare different bird species and their nests. We can look for the residence signs. We can look for the or we can create our meteorological devices. Here we can see the anemometer, the rain gauge. This is the hygrometer. Again, anemometers, different types. Follow a Shadow is a long-term project that children do the whole year, and they observe the length of the shadow throughout the day and throughout the year. again, you can download this activity on our website, or it'll be there soon if it's not there yet, because we publish the activities every week. You can have a close look into the water. It's plankton and geology. Geology in the city is a great topic, because if you would just walk in the city with a focus on different stones and the pavements and statues and tombstones and some memorial plaques, you'll see great diversity. Trees, their leaves, their buds, their fruits, great opportunities for research. It's connected with phenology in spring. You can do this long-term phenology observations. You can have a closer look at soil and go into pedology, because there's a lot going on in the ground that's invisible, and children often just discover the whole universe and soil. That's probably something that you know and use, but it's good to invite even technologies and use different types of applications that are available. And this is to remind us that there are opportunities not only in May during the School Grounds Month, but the whole year round, and some activities can be done only in winter. So don't be afraid to go outdoors in winter. You can do different kinds of measurements and experiments. What will drop first, if ice or snowball, and why? This is beautiful activity to see the crystallization basically in front of your eyes. So freezing bubbles are something that I really recommend to do. It's short. Footprints, another measurement. It's a good challenge if you have to create the scales for that. Invite even languages into your outdoor learning. So you can do many things in foreign language. This is, for example, a dictionary that you can create in a box. You can learn the tree species and use these paper frames. This is a herbarium, but not the pressed one, but you can just put different signs around your schools to different flowers. And we get to mathematics outdoors. We've had a special webinar on mathematics, so I'll skip through this really quickly, but just for you to have an idea what can be done in mathematics. Axis of symmetry, because nature is very symmetrical. You can do axis of symmetry with children, and the experience with their bodies are very important for some children, just to engage the body. Meter, measuring with all kinds of measuring devices. You can start with a simple string. They can make their own measuring devices, and folding measures, tape measures, square meter. On the ground, we go to the 2D level. It's even better if you have an old bed sheet and you can create your square meter that you can carry around and measure with the square meter. The diagonal part of it, mesh net, is great teaching aid to teach about decimeter and how many decimeters are in 1 square meter. These are the devices for learning about decimeters or square decimeters and square centimeters. Trees are everywhere or mostly everywhere, so don't take them for granted, and they provide great opportunities for learning. This device helps to measure the circumference of the tree and as well as the diameter. At the same time, you can measure the tree volume, you can measure tree heights. There are different methods of measuring it. This is the Kristen's hypsometer, but you probably know measuring with 1 meter long stick, the tree shadow, and so on. The models, the 3D models, we talked about that already. It's a cubic meter. You can play a game how many children can fit in 1 cubic meter. Fractions, it's our favorite topic to teach outdoors, just for the simple reason that it's very, very messy indoors, and there would be a lot of mess in the classroom. So you can pour the fractions and you can add and subtract them in the jars. Or you can use sticks. That's the easiest way to teach fractions. Or for more advanced, we have these fraction bars. Pizza fractions, a very popular activity. Play for children, they can decorate their pizzas and set up a shop, a pizzeria. It's great to connect fractions and clocks. If you involve some movement for the active children, you help them to grasp the idea more easily. This is an activity to teach percentage in the garden. So you take different natural materials, and then you can ask the questions like, what's the percentage of red apples and white pebbles and so on. This is an example of how you can teach statistics. Outdoors, you count the petals. Again, speed measuring. And after all these measurings, you can learn how to make graphs and charts and how to use them, what to do with them. Cardinal directions. If you haven't done that, it's a great activity for children to make a compass out of a leaf and a needle on a puddle. But you need a magnet as well. But it really works, and it's a great magic for children. Yeah, you can teach chemistry, all kinds of formulas out of natural materials. Botany, different kinds of leaves and flowers. This is an activity that you'll find on our website as well, and that calculates how much carbon is there in a tree. We'll make some rainwater mapping, again, something that you can download, or you'll be able to download soon on our website. And biochar, we have an activity on biochar as well, I think. So we can put up that activity on the website. So it's, again, something practical that you can do with children, hands-on, in practice, connected to the garden. You can see the results of your work. You can do it for real in the large scale. You can open up the topic of climate change, the carbon cycle, and all these topics. And you can do it with children in the small scale so that they can actually do it themselves and try it, how it works. So that was it, at least quickly, some ideas what can be done outdoors. The point is that nature is really like the best classroom, interactive laboratory and gym, also a pharmacy that boosts our well-being. And that's why we should spend more time in nature. If you're interested in our materials, visit our website. You can download the lessons there and some activities. You can buy an ebook focused on some topic. You're welcome to visit our website, find what you need there. We have many of the lessons as a free download there. There are also short video tutorials. So if you don't like to read, you can watch. It's like 5-minute videos demonstrating some activities. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and that will be it. Thank you very much. Sorry, it was longer, but it was really packed with topics and inspiration. Science is a really huge topic, and there are many, many things that can be fitted in. So if you have any questions or comments, maybe something that you want to try, because it's great to listen, it's great to watch, it's great to get some inspiration, but the next step should be putting something in practice. So maybe you should, in your head, like think about one thing that you want to try with your class or with your children. Thank you. Thank you for all the messages in the chat. Sorry for the technical issues. So, and if you don't have any questions, we won't keep you longer than we have to. Again, if you have a comment, or you can use just unmute yourself and you can speak up. There are not that many of us. Yeah, you teach English. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there are many activities that can be just put into English. For example, you want to discuss the birds, you want some long-term project, and you want to build a birdhouse. So why don't you just write the process in English? Just write the manual how to build a birdhouse in English, for example. Or you can use all kinds of outdoor dictionaries when children, touch the words and the trees. They tend to remember it better. Yeah, there's an invitation to Campion National Park. Would love to meet you and organize the workshop. We'll let you know if you're there. So anyways, thank you very much for today. Thank you for joining us. Hopefully you got some inspiration to try and some ideas to think about. And We'll send you the recording of the webinar probably tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. And so you'll have some time to go through maybe some parts that we went through very quickly. And thank you for today. Enjoy the rest of the evening and see you maybe in some other webinar. Thank you and goodbye.